1. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, you will make it TV followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners across the globe. Thank you for clicking on another live reaction, commentary, discussion topic with your very own audio host, Arthur TETASHERI. Because this one, I felt like I had to give a reaction on. I saw these viral posts and viral videos everywhere about, really, I was shocked, but I wasn't. Because things go viral these days. You know what I'm saying? Certain beliefs, certain rumors, they just go viral these days. And this is one of those things. It's not about what religion you are or what. Many people, no matter what religion they are, pretty much believe that something like the end of the world will eventually happen. Actually, in my opinion, let me state that for the record really quick. These are just my opinions, viewpoints. Nobody has to agree. This segment is based on factual scripture in the Bible, but everybody is still free to have their own opinions about when, where, and how the rapture shall happen, okay? Or if it ever will, okay? Just about every rapture movie, though, that they've put out, I think I've seen it because I just enjoyed looking at people's ideology of what they say the rapture will be like. And in my opinion, the closest depiction they've ever done in a Hollywood film, y'all gonna be shocked which movie I choose. Uh, the movie I felt like got closest to it, like I was saying, was that movie called Signs with Mel Gibson in it. I really feel like he was on to something. But of course, had I said this 20 years ago, they just be like, "Oh, it was just an alien movie. That movie don't mean nothing." Oh, okay. People were just waking up in that movie, finding weird symbols and messages in their front lawn, backyards, all over the town. If you haven't seen the movie Signs with Mel Gibson, it's a great movie to watch today. Maybe if you get off work, when you get off work at lunchtime, before bedtime, I don't care. Because September 23rd, 2025 was this day that people assume was the rapture is going to happen. I said, well, should I do a live on it when I want to speak too soon? Um, I think it's funny. I think it's a funny logic and everything. But if I had to compare any Hollywood movie who got close to what the rapture might be like I said, it's Mel Gibson in the movie Signs. You know, he was a preacher in that movie who had given up hope or given up faith because his wife had tragically died in a bad car accident. And he still, took care of his kids after her passing, but he struggled with the loss of his wife, which people do. Let's talk about that for a second. I'm tired of people. It's one thing to just say, oh, that sinner is a false prophet, that sinner is a fake person, but somebody was a man or woman of the cloth and once had a strong faith, you cannot compare them like you would to everybody else. Because clearly, faith being broken is very real. Mel Gibson shows us this in the movie Signs. People just pay attention to the alien parts. No, pay attention to the symbolism of the movie. He was a pastor. Him and his wife was pastor and first lady when she lost her life in that tragic car accident. A lot of people go through that. What I am tired of is the non-existent, like pretending that people that's non-existent for their faith to be broken. Faith broken to me is just like heartbreak. What do you mean? You believe in heartbreak, but you don't believe a person's hope or faith or belief in something can break sometimes? How does that make sense? Hold on, guys. I'm finna break it down. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Um, I love how that movie showed the reality of a man or woman's faith being broken because how is it that people say they would be so prepared for the rapture, but they're not willing to admit their faith or heart had been broken somewhere along this path or journey in their lifetime? I've seen it happen to a lot of people. That's why I stay quiet too. I talk a lot, but I do stay quiet about certain matters because, like, I'm not finna sit there and judge somebody I saw full of the faith once upon a time. See, judgment would be different for me when I stand there on Judgment Day. Like, didn't you know this man or woman was a woman of the cloth once before? Well, what were they like at that time of their life? Then I would be able to tell it or not tell it. You know what I'm saying? But if I knew, because Mel Gibson had a lot of support from the community in that movie. They knew him. He was like a well-revered person in the town, something like Job or somebody. He didn't just turn evil or nothing after he lost his wife, but he definitely, quote unquote, turned against God. He closed his heart to reading his Bible or just like praying like he used to. I mean, it's all too familiar. Dang it. Okay, so what part was I on? Oh yeah, people don't want to talk about that because they swear the day you find God, your life just supposed to transition, and you should never go through no trials and tribulations ever again after that. What Bible do they read from? What Quran? What holy book did they get that false information from? Why am I talking about false information and false rumors and misinformation so much on You Will Make It TV lately? Because people don't understand. In the book of Revelations, there are signs of the times that are listed in that very book. Just signs, things we're going to notice. It said people would not know the time or the date of the Son of Man's return. That's all I needed to know. If you know God operates in mysterious ways, why would you try to? That's the world problem, and it is showing. You're going to try to pinpoint what he does next. I think the world just does the same thing repetitiously. And to prove my point, I actually believe that's why ancient civilizations are buried under the ground right now. Worlds that once existed or something. Because these are worlds that probably tried to do the same thing that society is doing right now. Like they just try a new way. I guess they told themselves, well, this time we're going to have AI and robots and mind control weapons that'll stop God from doing whatever he said he was going to do ancient times ago. You know, that's what it looked like to some of us. But it did say signs of the end times would persist. Like, we wouldn't be able to predict the weather no more. I don't think we're quite there yet, but people do see funny stuff happening with the weather. I mean, it's close enough. And then you would see mothers and fathers, mothers and daughters, fathers and sons turning against each other. Your own foes would be of your household. You can tell people don't believe in the Bible like they claim they do because it literally says that. But you still want to put a person on Front Street and ask them, why is there so much chaos in your family? Like the Bible didn't say that was going to happen. Literally. Like there was nothing you could do, the next person can do about that. Mothers will be against daughters, sons against fathers. It said that household foes of your own household. Literally. So if I know that that part was already prophesied, all I can do is look at the tactics the enemy used to usher it in, I guess. Right? Because how does anybody just wake up one day and say, yep, I want all the enemies and foes of my life to be of my own household? Nobody really just plans that, do they? If they said they was the originator of that, they're lying. If anybody in any family right now saying, yeah, I'm the cause of all this. Yeah, I turn everybody. Yeah, I'm that boss, that enemy of the family. They're lying because you did not originate that. God had already said it was going to happen. You see what I'm saying? They keep trying to jump 10 feet ahead of God, and it's just funny to watch. It's funny to, I'm not saying it's funny, but it is funny to watch. When you believe in God the way some of us do. Some things were already written. Make that make sense. Prophesied it long before anybody in the era of the 1900s was even born, bro. It ain't like you saying nobody can tell you nothing, but when we talk about faith and rapture and serious topics like that, well, let's talk. Another prevalent sign, they said it would be a sign of the times in the end. People should be reading Revelations like never before right now. They looking for so many answers. You're not going to find it on social media and in the internet like you're going to find it on the Bible, in the Bible, straight out of God's mouth. But it said that, no, it said that it would also be an increase or a rise, a sudden rise in false prophets. Notice I used the word sudden. Because I promise, lately, I just said, okay, so I think they just made, because like serving God would be a good trend. All these trends they have out here, that's one I would never be against. But it said increase in rise in false prophets. The devil know God's word too. He know that what I'm speaking right now is facts. In the past 5 years alone, people that weren't even professing God, claiming God, that were denying God, all that, they suddenly are the main leaders in line to try to tell everybody what to do to get their spirit cleansed and get demons off of them. And it's just stupid to me. Like, okay, where was y'all at centuries ago? Because Martin Luther King was preaching the same thing. Last I checked, he was a whole preacher. Literally, during the civil rights movement. Y'all think he was just preaching about racism? He was preaching about specifically love and hate and where hate drives people to. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I wouldn't say he was a false prophet, but people do have their own opinions. But there has definitely been an increase. I'm saying the Bible said it would be an increase in false prophets, but it's definitely been an increase in trend of spirituality like practices. Okay? An increase in cult groups, an increase in what people want to follow and don't want to follow. I would say the Bible is very true. It keeps proving itself as truth every time. And when that happens, God wants us to look at it. Look at it. People will refute and debate and pretty much, battle and challenge the truth to the end of the world. He even said that, like, people would curse God even when the world is falling apart. Some of them going to be standing there falling victim to damnation, still cursing God just because they didn't get to be God. They didn't get to dictate how the end was going to happen. And we know that there are going to be people that try. I've been said that it's like they're trying to literally trigger the end of the world quicker than what it had to be. There's things we could have been did about the global economy or the what else? Global climate change, abuse and family dynamics and stuff. Like, there are literally proactive plans that could have been put in place a long time ago to help better the world, literally. So God's no fool. He see the ones that's out here that really have a heart to do that and really had the ambition to do that, the intentions to do that. That's the better word I'm looking for. And knows that just sit in a position saying they doing it, but really behind the scenes helping to break the world down, literally. Yeah, this is how I see it. But another thing I thought was funny, I said all the days of the world, they could have said the end of the world coming. Why one day before my birthday? So I just thought it was funny. Yeah, let's end the world before TETASHERI can turn 34. The rapture's gonna happen. I'm not mocking it. But yeah, I agree with the side of people that says y'all are just starting fear mongering and weird trends on the internet at this point, because the Bible says no man knows the time or hour that the Son of Man shall return. It also says he's going to come like a thief in the night. And you thieves out there should know exactly how thieves operate. Literally. You don't want the person to know you're coming. You want them to be sound asleep, knocked out, feeling comfortable as possible, thinking it's just going to be another night. It's going to be another day. Thieves don't want the person they're finna attack to know what they're doing. It kind of throws off their agenda. But God is no thief. But he compared himself as unto like one. He said, I'm coming like a thief in the night on you boys. I have nothing to fear. Some of us, we already been crept up on. And I just thank God he was one of the ones crept up on me. I'll never be mad that God was somewhere secretly watching my life or watching my children. It's a good thing. It's only going to feel like a thief in the night to those that just played this whole thing like a game. Yeah, you're still playing a game trying to dictate when people are going to be, it's just funny, bro. Like, yeah, it's going to be this time, this date. You might can predict the moon cycles, but you're not God. You can predict the weather a little bit, and they barely can do that these days. They say it's going to be one thing, and the weather be whole different the next day. Literally. And other people have noticed this. I know I'm not the only one. We also notice how time seems to be passing by faster. Or is it just me? Like, time has sped up, literally. And it has nothing to do with daylight savings time. It has nothing to do with, what's the other one they call it? Fall back, spring forward. It has nothing to do with that. Why on earth would people suddenly feel like time is passing by faster? A prophecy had went forward before that I actually took very serious. To put a time frame on it for people, it was probably about 10 years ago now. Now, when prophetic words go forth, that's the thing about it. It seemed like everybody know how to spot out. They claim we all got discernment to the point we know what a false prophet is. Yeah, we can tell you what that is. Oh, okay. But when those real prophets speak, why can you not receive that? That's what me and God want to know. Everybody know what a false prophet is these days, or who's fake, who's unloyal, who ain't real to their truth. Yeah. But when real prophecies come forth, and it was kind of like that in the days of Lot and his wife, the city Sodom and Gomorrah that God had to destroy. Because see, that's the thing. He's a God of mercy and grace too. He ain't just going, oh, yep, I'm finna destroy this whole city. I'm sick of what they doing. Warnings always come forth. I'm sick of this country. Or I'm sick of this area of the land. Or he might be sick of the whole land. He might just be tired of it. But I know God has never, there's no story in the Bible where he just executed judgment and there was not this like level of sovereign grace and mercy and warnings and real prophets that he sent forth to give warnings before something happened. You name a Bible in the story, a story in the Bible right now, God didn't give people mercy, grace, and warnings. I'm getting passionate real quick because like, how can people not love this God? And they always wait till the absolute possible worst thing happens that was already forewarned. They wait to that to give the prophet reverence. That's the thing about a prophet. Our jobs is never to sit there and wait for reverence or purple star badges. That's not why we do what we do. That's not what God sent us here to do. And they like, yeah, maybe we'll break her confidence. Oh, okay. But like I said, it really has happened to a lot of prophets. They come at them the same way. They have to make you look debunkable, less credible. You know, it's going to be hard to make people look uncredible when actually what they speaking on be coming to pass. Then what you going to do? Then what you going to do? How you going to make them look uncredible? Even the prophet who forewarned Miss Jezebel, see, she had a warning too. Some of the greatest legends of people, they like to worship entities and stuff like this. They had warnings from God too. It's some deep stories out here. But he ain't never just, yeah, I'm finna execute my judgment. Like, I'm tired of them trying to make God look like a narcissist or something. He don't force himself upon nobody. But what I see, a lot of some of these other religious cults and spiritual teachings, they be trying to force their beliefs on people. And God don't do that. His love is convincing. I said it in a short yesterday for a reason. I said the devil's antics and tactics and gifts might be tempting, but God's love is convincing. The point of me doing that inspirational quote was to make people understand that, see, God like convinces people into his fold. That's what an evangelist actually, their work, discipleship, that's what it's about. Not forcing you to the side they feel like you should be on. It's more like miracles, signs, and wonders have always convinced the people of God for why they stand for what they stand for. He didn't force himself nowhere. They saw his power. They saw his miraculous love. They saw how his love was able to heal people. That's how it's always been. He's never forced himself upon anybody. He gently, kindly asked the Pharaoh of Egypt to let his people go. He warned him many, many times before the judgment went forth. That's the kind of God that I just feel like, how can you not love him? Like, how can you continue to deny his existence and then turn around and you want credit? I don't know, y'all. It was saying some people was selling their cars and homes because they believe the rapture's coming, but it didn't make sense because why are you selling stuff? If you believe the rapture coming, you selling something, what you gonna take the money with you in the rapture? Yeah, it said they were selling homes and assets. I still think that's a great thing to do. Downsizing at any time, sell your stuff. Get, you know what I'm saying? Go get something that's gonna actually help you. Rapture or not, it's never a bad thing to downsize. I actually did a segment on that. A lot of us, we can go through our houses and stuff right now and probably find 20 items we don't even use on a day-to-day basis, and throw it away or give it away to somebody. You know, that's just called living with a lot of baggage, living with a lot of stuff that you can showcase. Look, I got 20 Fendi bags. What is that going to matter when California was just burning and whole celebrities lost their houses? I need to do a follow-up research on how those celebrities have been doing, because do we care? Everybody cared to report on it and talk about it on their podcasts and radio stations when it was happening. But see, that's something I was talking about, following up with victims of anything. Yeah, you use these stories at the moment, but do you follow up 6 months later, a year later, to see how them people doing that was displaced from their homes? Because in California, it's been happening every year lately. Houses burning, towns burning, and nobody knows how the fires are happening. It's crazy, bro. That's why I made that post to remind people. You know, the same energy you put out there and wish on people, you know, eventually it's gonna come back around to you. That's just that's the universal law. Spiritual has a whole science to it. Spirituality. I think that's why they call it metaphysics in some places. The whole act of being able to study energies and manipulate energies and build energies, they call it metaphysics, because spirituality has science to it. People say, I believe in science, but I don't believe in the rapture. That don't make sense, because the book of Enoch is a very real book. And it's just other ancient books that have given mention to like chariots, flying saucers, other beings. Okay, what they call them, like celestial beings. There's so many different type of beings, but it don't get mad at me. I'm just a messenger. There are ancient books that was here long before any of us was born, that had made reverence and mentioned, let me use that word, they mentioned some of the same things that we are discussing today. That don't seem interesting to people. I think we just keep repeating. I think Earth be getting a chance to just repeat. Try to get it right again. Try to get it right again. Try to get it right again. Maybe we all been here 1,000 times, you know? We think our birthdays are our birthdays. How long have you really come back here? How many times? How many times have you been reborn back onto this earth to get it right? Any one of us. So I don't know why they trying to rush the end of the world. Do you know? I'm just want to give my opinions and commentary on this topic real quick. Why would people want to rush the end of the world, knowing, to me, that's kind of like somebody either don't want judgment. I mean, rushing the end of the world, the rushing death on everybody else. You're rushing your judgment. You better make sure your heart is as light as a feather, or whatever you believe in. Make sure your soul is pure and ready to go. Make sure you did obey the judgments. The instructions of divine order. It just seems kind of suicidal for people to rush the end of the world on everybody. I don't know, but I keep my opinions to myself. Like, what's the rush? Let this generation grow up. Let this generation thrive. It's something about that, bro. I said it before, 35, maybe the age of 40 and younger. It's something about them not wanting to get to their fullest potentials or something. It's something about this last generation, the last three. Look at the number I just used. And I'm serious. The last three generations, it's like they do not want us to get past a certain mark. Why are you trying to change the world already? Why are you trying to do that? I mean, changing the world for good purposes is a good thing, but what's wrong, boo-boo? Okay, let me get it for you. That's okay. Here, open that for me. Open it. Big emphasis on the mothers against daughters, fathers against sons, households of foes of your own family. Why people don't want to hear the truth, the word of God, though? It's a whole scripture too. Like, imagine a person saying, "Well, I did everything right. I don't have no reason to fear when the rapture come. I know I'm gonna be taken." I'm gonna share a prophetic dream with you guys, or should I? I just don't think it's gonna be what people expected. I mentioned the book of Enoch and several other ancient books or texts where people were like witnesses to quote unquote other beings, like I said, or like they called them flying chariots. Because in that dream, even though to this day I have yet to read the book of Enoch, like I have listened to it on an audiobook type segment, but you know, like falling asleep, you're not really hearing it, right? If you just play it to fall asleep to or something like that. But at least I'm being honest, like I haven't personally sat and read the book of Enoch, but I know that to be true. That a lot of the things he witnessed and talked about and transcribed, I believe that man really went through it. Because how did you not read the book, but you still had a whole dream that something like the mothership or what they called wheel in the middle of the wheel in the air might be real? You had a dream about it. So it's not what people expect. You gotta be able to fight deception when and I believe that this whole thing was a trial run for a second, because the real test is coming. And those with the scales still on their eyes, it's kind of like they feel like they have to attach to the people that can see. But I don't think they will ever admit that to people, like, oh, we got scales on our eyes, so yeah, we sit here and stalk the watchers. When you can literally just purify your own self so you can see. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm going to just harass the watchers. Because the watchers have something to say. I got something to say right now. And this one dream, it was so scary because it was actually two, what they call, quote unquote, wheel in the middle of the wheel, saucers in the air. And like a group of people was getting on one, and the other one, people was being, see, it might not be written like that in the Bible, but there was a whole vision. Some people were like getting caught up on one of the flying vehicles, and other people's were getting on the other one. So here's the crazy part. The ones that on both of them, they both thought they were like the chosen. Like, oh, we all being caught up. What's that other movie? Was it called End of the World with Tom Cruise? So I gave y'all two movie recommendations today. One is called End of the World with Tom Cruise. The other one is called Signs with Mel Gibson. To me, the rapture is not going to look like people just going up in the air and disappearing like people thought. But yes, the Bible do say one shall be taken, one left behind, one will be working in the field, and the other one just disappear. They take words verbatim instead of like reading the words. You see what I'm saying? You can cite the words. I feel like citing words and reading words is two different literal verbal acts. Yeah, anybody can cite or quote something or somebody, but to actually read through what the text is saying is a whole nother gift. You see what I'm saying? Like you can call it discernment, intuition, whatever you want to call it, but that's a whole nother gift. Um, but yeah, just imagine like two flying ships, a whole bunch of people going on one, a whole bunch of people going on another one. Uh, So the ship that they thought they were actually being raptured on, I don't know exactly how this is going to happen when it all unfolds, but there's definitely something significant about people thinking they're going to be saved, and actually they've already been numbered, literally. Some by their sins, some by their righteous acts. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's been marked and numbered. Like, all that is being counted every day. It doesn't matter how much we're disregarded, pushed to the side, moved around. People have dreams and visions for a reason. I told you, nobody ever wants to hold on to that until the absolute worst happens. But the ones that thought they was on the right ship, like, oh, I'm finna be raptured, I'm finna go with God. They found out they was on a ship full of like evil aliens, literally. Don't you know people have had dreams like this? But it reminded me of that movie, The End of the World, with Tom Cruise. And at the end, it was so funny. It was a natural thing, like birds that actually took down the aliens. It was just crazy. Like this one alien machine that was attacking everybody. It turned out they had looked for all these cures and methods and what they could do to fight it. Because people do have a fear of things that are stronger than what their power can contain. That's just the minds of mankind, though. It's okay for you to sit up and have power, but don't let you see power somewhere that, oh no, we got to go box and cage it in and study it, because what if it tries to turn against us? I mean, that's like trying to say you're trying to find God's weakness, and it's crazy to live amidst times that scientists, doctors, whoever they are, feel like they can do that. It's symbolic. Once again, y'all keep up with me. Like I said, to me, the spiritual world does have a science to it. Yet science is the very ones trying to suddenly make spiritual power non-existent. It's just weird when even the ancients knew that's kind of impossible. You know what I mean? It's just weird. So at first I didn't believe that, because they were saying certain technologies and stuff probably were taught by mankind, by aliens, that no scientists just sat up and thought about how to put all this stuff together. And now that kind of makes sense. And how quick the advancements happen. Like next year, they'll have an iPhone 19. You know what I'm saying? They quickly put this stuff together. Like, not saying that man brain power doesn't have the capacity to think of advanced technology, but we don't have to believe that. Maybe it did come from somewhere else. My thing is, what was the deal behind it all? Like, yeah, we're the aliens. We'll show you the secrets of technology, but I don't think aliens would just do that. Like, wouldn't you owe them something back? They're not stupid. They sit here and help you with technology, and what are you giving them back? You see? But in that dream, it was two flying saucers, and everybody just knew they was going to the right place, but they didn't know until the saucer got ready to gear up and actually leave Earth far away from this place where they was finna be going. People thought they're only ushered into the spiritual world after death, and it's just crazy. No, we walking amidst spirits right now while we're alive every day. I think we're all just in like different dimensions or something. We're all just, and what dictates those dimensions? Our own consciousness. It's crazy. Why else would you try to keep people dummied down and half aware? It has to be something about the levels of consciousness that connect us to dimensions. So this topic is good, guys, but I'm gonna just come back with a part two. And you guys stay tuned. Thank you.